Welcome back, everyone. It is time for a Pounds for Purrs workout. This one is from March 5th. I am a little bit behind schedule again, so I apologize and hope to get caught up either tomorrow or as soon as possible. And this workout was a little interesting, not because of the exercises. In fact, the lifts went pretty well. However, on the technical side, things didn't go quite as planned, so I'll get to that later. But basically, I got to the gym and I decided not to do a cardio warm-up just because it's really nice outside here. Well, relatively speaking, it's really warmed up and it's quite pleasant outside, so I was feeling alright. I didn't really think I needed a cardio warm-up, and so I completely omitted it and went directly to the landmine and started doing T-bar rows. And I was kind of expecting to do incline bench first, but I decided to do T-bar rows after all. So I went with a set of 10 for warm-ups with 95 pounds, a set of 8 with 120, and here you're seeing the 10 by 4 with 150. So same as last time, 90 seconds of rest in between sets, and the T-bar row went pretty well, dare I say very well. It's really coming in together in terms of how I like to do the exercise and how my positioning works best for me, especially for the goal of really targeting the lats and making sure that not only am I stable throughout the entire motion, but also just that I'm completely honed in on where everything should be and how I want to get there. Plus, still using the fingertip grip, and something I did notice because I switched the bar out. For a while there was a 20.4 kilo bar. It was a pretty thick bar, and the knurling was pretty worn down, almost not even there. So I did notice the previous workout that my grip started to just loosen up a bit towards the end, and I switched out with a fresher 20 kilo bar, and it felt a world of a difference. Of course, with any kind of bar, knurling makes a giant difference when it comes to grip strength and just being able to hold on to the bar. So the diameter is a little bit smaller, not by a lot, just by a bit, but the knurling makes a big difference. So I was using this one and no issues whatsoever, no problems, no slippage, nothing at all. So as long as I use one of these bars, one of the better ones, I don't think I'll need to use a V-bar attachment anytime soon. Whereas last time I thought maybe I was kind of getting close to that point, but using this one, no, I'll be good for a while. And for the accessory, I ended up going to a seated row machine with a supinated grip, which I really quite like, especially for hitting the lower lats and including a little bicep. So I did a warm-up set of 8 with 100, and then I did progressive sets. So I did a set of 8 with 150, and then a set of 8 with 160, and topping things off with a set of 8 at 170. And that felt pretty good, actually. Maybe I could have gone a tiny bit heavier or started a little bit heavier, but I'm perfectly fine with what I did. It felt great. I got a lot of great activation through the back, and considering it's a secondary exercise, I don't need it to be too much. So all in all, good day for rows, both with the T-bar row as well as the seated row. Now check this out. First set of incline bench was not even a full clip. This is where the technical aspect comes in. So basically, to put it in a nutshell, I back up all my files to Google Photos, and so you get a folder that is basically headlined as backup, and then as things get backed up, they disappear from that list because they have been backed up to the virtual memory. So you upload it to Google Photos virtually, and then you don't need to back it up anymore on your phone. So on that list, it gets taken off the list, and then you can free up the space. Well, I made sure that I had a few backed up last night and waited until I saw the proper icon, and then the videos disappeared off the backup list. So that's what normally happens when they have successfully backed up and you don't have to worry about them. You can clear up the space, and I did that. However, when I started recording the new videos from T-bar row, I noticed that the space wasn't completely back because I was running out, almost as if I had not freed anything at all. So to make a long story short, I contacted Google. They just said that the files were not backed up correctly, even though I was given the indication that they were. And so those videos are, as far as I know, they're gone forever. And they were accessory videos from a previous workout, and that's a bummer, but there's really nothing I can do about it. So for Incline Bench, yes, that first set did not record at all. I tried using a backup app and trying to see if I can dig it out somehow, but it crashed the phone a bunch of times, and so that first set did not get recorded, but I did it nonetheless. And so for the rest of the bench sets, I was a little perturbed. I was a tiny bit frustrated just because I wasn't sure if the rest of the sets were going to record. I was low on space, so you might notice I'm not pausing much at all for these reps. Later on, I'll pause a little bit, but I was very mindful of how much space I was using, and so I was trying to make these videos and sets pretty much almost as quick as possible. Not rushing, but also not taking my time either. So I got them all done. So I got all 10 sets, and so for Incline Bench, I did a warm-up set of 10 with 95, a set of 8 with 135, a set of 6 with 185, and I thought that was actually a good idea. And then here's the 10x4 with 200 pounds, 90 seconds of rest in between sets, and of course you're only going to see 9 actual sets, but lo and behold, I did do 10. It's just that the first one was literally 3 seconds. But I threw it up in the video just because that's what I had for it. And then for the accessory, I went to a seated fly machine. At that point, I really just wanted to leave. I wanted to leave ever since the problem started happening with the phone. So I went to a seated fly machine. I did a warm-up set of 8 with 100. And then just like the seated row, I did the same weights. So a set of 8 with 150, set of 8 with 160, and a set of 8 with 170. And that was the workout. All right, y'all. Adopt, don't chop.